Hello everyone, this is Cindy from Stamps with Aloha. Recently I partnered together with demonstrator Missy Shipman of the Glad Heart Stampers, and we put together a really fun class called Hello Beautiful that featured the Hello Beautiful stamp set as well as the Abstract Beauty Designer Series paper. So in today's video I'm going to show you how to create a clutch that Missy designed that coordinates with the 6 cards that were a part of our Hello Beautiful card class. I'll give you a sneak peek of those cards at the end of the video. So let's go ahead and get started. So this is a little clutch that I'm going to show you how to make today. This is made out of a 12 by 12 piece of cardstock. So let's start with our scoring. So first of all, we have a 12 by 12 piece of paper, and to prep the cardstock, I've removed 1 inch off. So the size that you need for your clutch is an 11 by 12 inch piece of basic white. Now we are going to start on the 11 inch side and we're going to do some scoring. We're going to score it at 1, 2, 9, and 10. Okay, so let me do that. Okay, next we're going to turn it so that it's now on the 12 inch side, and we're going to score it at 3, 4, 9, and 10. All right, so now our scoring is done, so we want to take out a bone folder and we want to crease on all of the scored lines. All right, so once you've gotten everything scored, now it's time to do some cutting. All right, so you'll notice that on this pattern, you have a smaller section up here, and then you have a larger section down here. All right, so we are gonna start cutting on the smaller section. So I'm gonna turn this around, and I'm gonna get out my paper snips. Now on the smaller section, this is going to be the bottom of this clutch. So this is where we want our tabs. So you can see these small squares here. These squares are going to become the tabs for the bottom of our box. So when we're cutting, we want to cut straight up from the bottom, and we want to cut straight to this edge like this. But we do not want to remove this tab. So the next thing that we're going to do is I'm going to turn it, and this time I'm going to come from the outside and just go straight up to that tab. Okay? And then I'm going to cut around the tab by cutting to the side like this. And then I'm going to finally cut right here. Okay, so we've removed a section that looks like this, and now we have a tab for our box. We're gonna do the exact same thing on the opposite side. All right, so now the bottom of the clutch has been prepared and we've got 2 tabs like that. All right, so then we're gonna flip it around, and then on this section, we don't need tabs. So as you can see where there's tabs here, so we wanna completely remove that section, and we're gonna cut out this big rectangle. All right, so I'm gonna just start over here on the right side, and I'm gonna cut straight up. And I'm gonna turn it, and I'm gonna cut that whole section off. And then do the same thing on the opposite side. All right, so now everything has been cut out and it's ready to be assembled. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna turn this around, because remember I mentioned that there's a shorter side and a longer side, and it's the short side with the tabs that's actually gonna be the bottom of the clutch. All right, and because we've scored it, it's going to make folding this together and gluing it together so much easier. All right, so the first thing that we need to glue down is the tabs. So I'm gonna start by placing a little bit of adhesive here on the side, and then I'm going to fold this up, and I'm going to fold the bottom up and stick it to that tab that's on the right side of the box, okay? Then I'm gonna fold this in, the side in. I'm going to fold this back so that I can see what I'm doing, okay? And then I'm going to place adhesive on the left tab, and I'm going to fold that in and stick it down, okay? So now both of the tabs are down on the bottom of the box, or our little clutch, okay? Then I'm going to fold in the sides, and then this bottom flap is going to come up like that. So where I want adhesive next is I want to place adhesive just along here on the inside of both of these flaps, okay? So that it's going to just go on the bottom part of these folded in tabs. All right, so I'm gonna just take and place some adhesive right here on this side and a little bit of adhesive on this side, okay? Making sure that you don't push the adhesive too far over so that there'll be exposed adhesive. So I'm just gonna fold this up, I'm gonna line it up with the edge and stick it down. And then I'll do the same thing on the opposite side. All right, so now that this has been glued down, we're gonna take the bottom flap and we're gonna fold it in. And you'll see that it just matches here exactly, and there's not really any room to create a latch. So one thing we could do with a box like this is we could create a belly band, and that would kind of hold it together. But we wanted to create a Velcro latch for this little clutch to make it more like a purse. And so what we wanted to do is add a little accent. And so we've added a gold strip of foil paper, and then all I'm going to do for this is just put a little line of adhesive across there. You could also use some tear and tape, and then I'm going to just glue this to the inside of the flap. Okay, and I'm just going to place it on there so that that gold will stick down, and it might be easier to like open it up and just press it on there from the inside too. Okay, but you just want to make sure that you have it lined up straight across. So by adding that gold strip on there and just making sure you've added it evenly, it just makes a nice finish to our little clutch purse. Makes it look a little bit more purse-like. Now we're going to bring in our Abstract Beauty Designer Series paper as well as our Hello Beautiful stamp set. To decorate our box, we're going to be working with these pieces. We have two shapes that have been die cut from the Beautiful Shapes die set, which coordinates with this bundle. And then we have two pieces of the Abstract Beauty Designer Series paper. This is actually pieces from the exact same piece, but they're cut at two different dimensions. One is 3 by 4 and one is 2 3/4 by 3 3/4, okay? And these will coordinate together. So let's start with our stamping, and we're gonna be working with the Hello Beautiful stamp set. For this design, we are gonna stamp with the Hello Beautiful, and we're gonna be using one of the little flowers. We're gonna be using this image here, and then we're gonna also use this little line image here. And I chose these because when you look at this Designer Series paper, you'll see a similar image to this, and you'll see these little squiggly lines that coordinated well with this image here. All right, so let's do our stamping. So with Memento ink, I'm going to stamp first the words Hello Beautiful, okay? And I'm gonna stamp that right about in the center or a little bit above the center of the shape. Okay, next I'm gonna get out this stamp here, and we're gonna be stamping with Just Jade ink. So I'm gonna ink up the Just Jade. I'm going to stamp off part of the Just Jade, and then I'm gonna stamp a little image right there, and then I'm gonna ink up the stamp again. I'm gonna flip the stamp upside down, and then just below the words on the left side, I'm gonna stamp again and just kind of frame them on each side with this image. Next, we're gonna be using Magenta Madness ink, and I'll be stamping with a little flower. So I'm gonna ink up the flower, I'm going to stamp it off, and then I'm gonna just put a little flower right there underneath the word beautiful. And then finally, we're gonna be working with Misty Moonlight, and then we'll be using this line stamp. So I'm going to ink it up, and then with full strength ink, I'm just going to cross over the top like that and come down here and just put a little bit on the bottom as well. You really can't mess up with these abstract stamps. Just layering them on top of each other, they're just so beautiful and fun to work with. Okay, so we are done with that. And then what we're gonna do next is start to put this all together. So we're gonna take out some dimensionals, and I'm going to place dimensionals behind this piece. And I'm gonna go ahead and just use like 3 of them and remove the backing. Okay, and then I'm gonna take the coordinating shape that I die cut out of gold foil, and I'm gonna just mount these together. All right, and then we're gonna highlight this with these beautiful new iridescent jewel rhinestones. Absolutely love these. Is my favorite new product by far. And then we're going to go ahead and stick a large one here, and then we're gonna stick a medium-sized one at an angle next to that. And then we'll take a small one and we'll place a small one right in the center of that little flower. Okay, and so our little Hello Beautiful tag is all finished. And so then what we're gonna do is we're gonna bring out our clutch. And then we have these two pieces of the designer series paper. And so what we wanna do is we wanna feature this smaller piece and we're gonna mount it onto the larger piece. So we're gonna flip the larger piece around, we're gonna add adhesive, and we're gonna glue these two together, okay? So take the smaller piece, add your adhesive to the back, and then we're going to mount this onto the larger piece, the 3x4 piece. All right, this next step is optional, but I have a second piece of basic white cardstock that's also 3x4. And because this is going to be the front of the clutch, I just wanted to make this a little bit sturdier to support, because this is going to be what's going to be pulled on to open and close the clutch. So basic white cardstock or thick cardstock would work perfectly. I'm going to go ahead and add some adhesive to the back of this, and then we're going to mount this onto white cardstock. All right, so now it's a little bit sturdier. All right, then I'm gonna take and I'm gonna center this where I want it to go. So it's gonna go about right there, okay? And so then I can look on the front and see I wanna put 3 dimensionals on the back of this. So I'm gonna flip this over, get out my dimensionals, and then I'm gonna place dimensionals on here. Okay, and then I'm going to turn this around and I'm going to mount this on here like so. Okay, then I'm going to take my little Hello Beautiful tag and I'm going to place dimensionals on the back of this. Take off the backing. And then mount that right there in the center and kind of just line it up with the edge of the tag with the foil line. So you could leave it like this, or you could use a little Velcro dot, which is what we're going to use. So we're going to go ahead and take the Velcro dot and I'm going to peel it up. And then on a Velcro dot, you have like a soft side and you have the hard side. So I always like to put the soft side on the back of the flap so that when you're opening it up, the soft side is what's going to hit the back of your hand. So I'm going to go ahead and take the Velcro dot and I'm going to just center it and place it right there on the back of this flap. And then I'm going to just press it on there really tight, and then I'll remove the backing from the opposite side, and then I'll just take the box, make sure everything is lined up straight. Okay, and then I'll close it, press down, and then I'll just give it a push on top of the Velcro, and then I'll just carefully separate it to make sure that it's stuck on there, and there you go. Okay, all right, so our box is done, and now let's fill it with our pretty Hello Beautiful cards. So in our Hello Beautiful class, we taught 6 cards that all featured the Abstract Beauty Designer Series paper, the Hello Beautiful stamp set, the iridescent jewel rhinestones, and can you see that gorgeous mother of pearl paper that adds that extra finishing touch to each of these cards? Now these cards are the large Memories and More cards, and they come in a pack of 20, 10 are large and 10 are small. And so the template that I just taught you, this clutch, was made to hold the large Memories and More cards with envelopes. So the first 2 cards going in our box are these book fold cards here. So we'll place them in there. And then the next 2 cards in the class were these cards here, which both have a 2-inch split front, and so you have room for a little gift card or note to be tucked in this pocket that's on the inside of the card. And we did that in opposite directions. So these are cards number 3 and 4. It goes in there as well. And then the final cards of the class were these front fold cards. So we have this one here, which has another pocket on the inside. And then we have this fun one here, and this one has an interesting fold like this as well. Both the same dimensions, but just folded in different direction. So we're gonna put all of these cards in the clutch, and then we are gonna go ahead and add 6 envelopes to go with them. And of course, you can stamp the envelopes to match very easily. And then we're just close up the clutch and stick the Velcro on, and you have a beautiful gift that you can give to someone special in your life. All right, well, this project is done, and I want to say a special thanks to all of you who were a part of Missy and my Hello Beautiful class. We hope that when you received your kit that you enjoyed all the little extra goodies that we put inside there, and we hope that we reminded you just how beautiful you are. Thanks again for watching this video today. I hope that you'll come back and stamp with me again soon. Until next time, aloha.